Have you ever been excited for a movie sequel because the first one is an incredible piece of art? Have you ever walked into that theater with pure joy knowing that you are going to enjoy what is being presented in front of you, only to have your hopes and dreams shit on because the movie sucked ass? Yeah. That's what this list is about. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I have put together my top 5 worst movie sequels of all time. Let's just get right into it. At number 5, I have Speed 2 Cruise Control. For starters, there's no Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, at the time, I didn't respond to the script.
So why are we doing this, guys?
Okay, a bus, okay, we're going, but now it's on an ocean liner? Yeah.
Jason Patric? Okay. Listen, nothing against Jason Patric. I love him in The Lost Boys. You can see back there's my little shrine of The Lost Boys. Speed worked because of a combination of so many different things. The chemistry between Keanu Reeves and Jeff Daniels.
Say goodbye, Harry. You fuck.
Obviously, the chemistry between Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
You didn't leave me.
Didn't have anywhere to be just then.
And you get excited when they make it at the end and they kiss. And you're excited to see what could possibly happen. You know that there's going to be a sequel. You just didn't know that Keanu Reeves was not going to be in it. But at least we got William Dafoe. So there's that. At number 4, Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh my God.
Now, I was 10 years old when the original Independence Day came out, and it was one of the greatest movies I have ever seen. Roland Emmerich creating something insanely amazing. I mean, the effects still hold up to this day. So when Independence Day Resurgence was announced, I got excited. You have Roland Emmerich coming back to direct. You have Jeff Goldblum returning. You have Vivica A. Fox. You had Bill Pullman. No Will Smith. Okay, a little nervous, but we'll figure it out. And what the hell happened? First of all, opening day of this movie, I think I was one of 6 people in the theaters. That's not good. There was a point where I was watching this movie and it just became so comical. It was so ridiculous. Everything was so over the top.
Hold on! They'd like to get the landmark.
There was no magic like the first one had. The characters fell really, really flat. You just didn't care about what was going on. And then at the very end, we have this giant, and I mean giant, alien. It just did not work. It was an absolutely horrible experience. A movie that I wish never was made, but you know, money talks, so they made it. And hopefully it's dead in the water. They never do anything with the Independence Day films again. If they do, maybe it'll be a reboot, maybe 10 years down the road, who knows. At number 3, I have The Ring 2. Now, The Ring is by far one of the scariest movies that I have ever seen that is rated PG-13.
I saw her face.
7 days, you die.
7 days.
7 days? Oh my God, I'm gonna die next Monday?
Yes. No, wait, Monday? That would be 7 business days. This is 7 days starting now.
Creepy girl coming through your TV, like what the hell is going on? This is terrifying. And for a PG-13 movie, I mean, damn, it did its thing. Now, Gore Verbinski did not come back to direct part 2. However, they did bring in Hideo Nakata, who, if you don't know who he is, he directed the original Japanese The Ring and The Ring 2. He also directed Dark Water, which is a great movie, which also has a remake, but we're not talking about that. Anyways, you're telling me that you're bringing back the guy that created all this, who's already done it twice, and you're gonna have him do the sequel here in the States? Hell yeah, I'm ready. And oh my, what an absolute disappointment of a movie. I have literally deleted that movie from my brain. This movie pissed me off so much. Awful, and I mean awful CGI, some weird stuff with the deer. Naomi Watts not really knowing what exactly to do in the movie. The whole thing just felt very disconnected. It really is a horrible sequel, and I've never actually met anybody who has said that this movie is actually good. So if you're out there and you think this movie is great, I would love to know in the comments why you think it's good. No hate, I hate it, but no hate to you for loving it if that's your thing. At number 2, I have a movie that should have never been made. I am talking about none other than Son of the Mask, starring Jamie Kennedy.
Don't you just love Halloween? Trick or treat.
Listen, props if you want to make a sequel and you want to create something in that world, but when you don't have Jim Carrey coming back to do what Jim Carrey does best, Jim Carrey is the Mask, right? There's certain actors that just are the characters. You know, maybe the sequel should have gone the complete opposite approach and stuck to the original script, which was supposed to be a scary movie where basically the Mask was just this insane killer that just went on a loose and just started doing terrible things to people. The thing about the Mask is that it takes your personality and basically amplifies it to like 1,000, right? So Jim Carrey's version of the Mask, Stanley Ipkiss, he's kind of a kid at heart. He watches his cartoons, he has his dog Milo, you know, he has these weird pajamas that nobody would buy, only Stanley Ipkiss does.
Impossible. Those pajamas are impossible.
And the Mask basically takes his entire personality and turns it inside out. So we get the Mask that we get. Now in The Mask 2, Jamie Kennedy is not playing Stanley Ipkiss. Therefore, the Mask really doesn't need to be like Jim Carrey's The Mask. It could be whatever his character is supposed to be. But it just feels like a horrible cosplay of Jim Carrey's The Mask.
You better cover up, young lady. You might catch a chest cold. What am I thinking?
You just constantly are being reminded of what made the first one work and why it doesn't work in the sequel. It's awkward, it's not funny. Honestly, secondhand embarrassment is what comes to mind when I was sitting in theater. You're going in this movie with some expectations because, all right, they didn't just make a pile of shit. No, they did, and the shit is just green, and they're just throwing that shit into our faces every 2 seconds. That's what it felt like. I was dodging shit left and right. So yeah, I hate that movie with a passion. I can understand somebody who likes it if they never watched the original Mask. Maybe it's a little kid who didn't grow up with the first Mask and watched the second one first, and that's his Mask. Cool, I get that. You don't have anything to compare it to. But for somebody like myself who grew up with the original, it was a part of my childhood, Jim Carrey is our Mask. No offense to Jamie Kennedy, but it's really hard to try to do something that somebody like Jim Carrey has done and not be compared to it. Especially when the movie itself doesn't even make the effort to try to do something different. But no, they just decided to do the same thing or attempt to do the same thing. It just did not succeed whatsoever. Now at number 1, this movie shit all over the legacy of the original, and it was also a big F you to the fans. Holy shit did this movie piss me off. We are talking about Terminator Genisys. Genisys. It's because they spelled it with the Y because Cyberdyne. Yeah, that was a thing. They did that. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger coming back to reprise his role and doing what he does absolutely best, which is collecting a paycheck. It sucks getting old.
I'm old, not obsolete.
I think you hurt his feelings.
And you have Jai Courtney playing Kyle Reese, which apparently there's a lot of hate for this guy at this time. I didn't understand the hate. I mean, the guy was making a lot of movies. He was in Die Hard, he was in this, he was in something else that I can't remember. A lot of hate for him. And then you have Emilia Clarke, who's playing Sarah Connor. Apparently she's really famous for some show with dragons or something. I don't know. Anyways, we're back to the world of Terminator, and we're back to them stopping Judgment Day, or we think we are, and we have John Connor, but we don't. But it's John Connor, but it's not. We have a T-5000, we have a T-3000, we have a T-1000. We also have Miles Dyson in it, and we still can't seem to make a fucking good movie. I think the biggest problem that I had, it was the promo tour that they did for this movie. Because in the promo tour, if you don't remember, I'll remind you, James Cameron, you may have heard of him. He did a movie called Terminator and Terminator 2, one of the greatest fucking sequels of all time. He goes on record to say,
I had no idea what to expect sitting down. I wasn't involved in the making of the film. I didn't direct it, I didn't write it. I'm just a fanboy. I feel like the franchise has been reinvigorated. Like this is a renaissance. If you look at why the films became classics, they had characters that you like. We went from, in the first film, the Terminator being the worst badass in history, to in the second film, him being almost a father figure. The idea of taking John Connor and flipping him to the bad guy. It's pretty cool because you got to riff against expectation. You like the Terminator films.
I'll be back.
You're going to love this movie.
I did not know James Cameron needed money like that. How much money do you guys think he got paid to actually say that? No, stop it, James Cameron, stop it.
Take it back!
You know, Terminator Salvation got a lot of shit, but I personally liked it. You know, they decided to go a whole different route and not stick to what we've already seen in the first 3 movies. And I applaud them for that. They tried something different. It didn't work out for some audiences. I personally enjoyed it. I thought Kyle Reese was portrayed great by the late Anton Yelchin. He was fantastic, and I would have loved to have seen more of young Kyle Reese. That would have been so amazing. And then you have Christian Bale as John Connor doing his best Batman impression. What's not to love?
I'll be back.
But in all seriousness, this movie sucked ass in 4K, massive widescreen ass, and it was just not good. It was not good at all. I left that theater so angry.
Bastards!
More angry at James Cameron.
Guy's a fucking asshole.
Come back.
Why would you say that? You know, you made me waste $20. It was actually more because I think I was on a date and I think I had popcorn, soda, and even a hot dog or a pizza. I probably did all three because I'm a fat ass and that's what I do. I love to eat when I watch movies. Listen guys, at the end of the day, these are just my opinions. And if you do love these movies, good for you. I personally didn't like them. I hated them actually, you know, not just not like them. I hated them. This is why I made this video. But if you did like them, great. I mean, stand by it, you know, love what you love and don't worry about what anybody else says. So there you have it guys, my top 5 worst sequels of all time. Let me know in the comments if you agreed with my list or if you disagreed with them. Let me know which ones you like. Also, let me know of other sequels that I didn't mention that maybe I should look into or just avoid altogether. I think I'm definitely doing a part 2 because there are a whole lot more that I don't like, but there are also some that I really love. So maybe I'll do a top 5 best sequels for me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel for more movie news, movie reviews, top 5s, and that sort of thing. That's it for me, guys. I'll see you on the next one.